I think having the woods to piss in and the barbecue place close by is really important.
It is
very important.
Yeah,
that's key.
Shout out to Mitch's Barbecue.
Yeah, Mitch's Barbecue. They gave us free fucking samples the last time we were.
Oh, it was so good.
And there's nothing better than if you need to walk out of the room for a minute and you just walk into the woods, take a leak. Man, you breathe in that wood air. You feel good. The wooded air. The wooded air.
Now we're talking about being in the woods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about that? It's important. Being in the woods is important.
Welcome to the 79th episode of the Cast That Ends Creation. I'm your host, Chris Deering. This is the show where we interview bands and public figures from the Mathcore adjacent communities. If you beautiful people in chat have any questions or comments, feel free to drop them in. I'll try to read them aloud. If you'd like to sub for $5, you get access to some exclusive emails, as well as access to the interviews before they hit YouTube and other streaming services. You can also sub for free by attaching an Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account. It's like taking $5 from Jeff Bezos' pocket and putting it into mine. If you're watching this on YouTube, listening to this in your car, and have no idea what I'm talking about, the show is first shown live on Sunday and Wednesday at twitch.tv/the Cast That Ends Creation for the live cast. With that out of the way, let me introduce our guest today, who dropped their EP Blast Haven and just dropped vinyl through Secret Swarm Records back in June. Welcome in, Narakah. How's it going? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I guess not.
Yeah, we hear you.
Oh,
Sorry.
There we go. So how's it going, guys?
Oh, we're having
Good.
All right, looks like there's a little bit of a delay, but tell us who you are, what you do in the band.
Yeah, so we're Narakah. We are a death grind band from Pittsburgh, PA. We've put out 2 releases so far. We did one last year at the very beginning in February called Dark Light District. And then just this past February, just a couple months ago, we put out our second EP, Blast Haven. And then, so we kind of started in the middle of the pandemic there. So we've gotten to play. We played one show before the pandemic ended, and then we've gotten to play one since stuff kind of opened up, but we've got a bunch of stuff going on. So yeah, just kind of. Oh yeah. And we're also working on a 3rd release. So yeah,
nice.
Been busy.
Well,
even with the pandemic.
Tell us who you are, what you do in the band. Just go around and introduce yourselves.
So I'm Adam. I do. Oh yeah. So I'm Adam. I do the vocals in the band.
I'm Chris. I do guitar and all the art and stuff.
We get tied up in that.
I know.
I'm Jason. I do all the percussion work and the sample work, that sort of deal. Here you go.
Evan, I play bass in the band.
Mania.
Yeah, that's Evan, our bassist there. So
Chris, I gotta say your shirt's fucking insane, dude. Last Days of Humanity's fucking awesome.
This is fancy Wi-Fi from our store Express.
So you guys got started in 2019, January 2019, correct?
sorry, say that again.
You guys got started in January of 2019, correct? That's when your Facebook started, at least.
Yeah. So we started in the very beginning of January. Yeah, we started then super early. We wrote the 11-song first album, and we recorded that at the end of 2019, and then released that officially in 2020 in February. So
how did you guys come together?
Yeah, that's where we got our start there. So the three of us, Evan, myself, and Chris, we've been in multiple bands together before. We've done like predominantly like metallic hardcore and that stuff. And then our buddy Jason here, he had moved recently back to Pittsburgh. What was it, 2018, 2019?
It was 2019.
Yeah.
It was August of 2019, I think.
Yeah. So he moved in. And he had been a Pittsburgh native, but he moved to New York City. And so he was drumming in a bunch of New York metal bands. But luckily he moved back right when we were creating this. And we've been doing this for 2 years since. So maybe a little over 2 years now. Yeah.
A little over 2 years. Because Chris had given me a call. I don't know if you can hear that.
No, we can.
Chris had given me just like a random text and call to see what I was doing. He was trying out another drummer or something like that at that point, Roswell. And I just happened to be in between things. I was trying to continue to work with a band that I was in New York called Prostitution, and the distance was just too long. So he caught me at a really off time. Yeah,
that's a heck of a band name.
Everybody to the band name.
Yeah, it's the best band name.
I actually there's another band called Narakah with just the A, the normal spelling of it. The H
I meant the name
Prostitution spelling of Narakah. I'm sorry. Yeah. That is a heck of a band name. I can't believe nobody took that already. So
that was the Jesse bassist. He's the bassist in that band. Came up with it, and it's just by far the best band name.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah. So those guys are great. Everyone should check them out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we were lucky enough to snatch him up before any other Pittsburgh band grabbed him.
So how did y'all end up on the name Narakah? What does it mean exactly?
Chris,
I usually have all the art and names and song stuff figured out before, way ahead of time. I've always been that way. So I settled on the name. I have heard the word before, and I actually kind of I had to put an H on it for the alternate spelling, as I was saying, because there's another metal band just called Narakah with an A, and I like the name a lot. The primary inspiration for it was a Defeated Sanity song. They have a song called Narakah, so that's basically where it came from.
What does it mean exactly?
And it means hell in Sanskrit. So
like a dharmic region.
Yeah, like a dharmic region there.
Scary.
So yeah, real spooky shit.
So like y'all said, you dropped your debut album in February of 2020. Now you're back with your EP. It came out in February. What's different this time around?
So
with the third one?
No.
With the EP.
With Blast Haven, I think we really focused on sorry.
No, I was saying what's different with Blast Haven, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, with Blast Haven, we had a real focus. So with Jason here, he mentioned in the beginning, he does all the sampling, and so we really wanted to kind of explore that a bunch. In the middle of the EP, he also created just sort of this kind of I guess an interlude, really, just a soundscape of things. And
it was basically kind of split up. It was something I've been working on, and I had sitting around. And actually, that sample, or I created the whole thing from scratch, but basically it was a dog I had in New York. I had to put him to sleep, and it was from his last walk. So a lot of the underlaying tones and the breathing and that sort of thing, it's a dog. So his name was Destro's. I call it Destro's Secret. But so I figured right in the middle of the album, it's so nasty from beginning to end. I thought I would throw that in there, and thankfully these guys allowed me to do that. And it was an idea of just kind of splitting it up, and it's different. There's not a lot of grind bands that'll throw something atmospheric or soundscapey in an album. So these guys are great, and I said, okay, well, I'm going to mock up what I think would be a good version of the album, and I just added all the samples in and kind of try to create a piece out of it.
Flow that the whole album flows.
It's supposed to have a whole flow to it, almost like one song in a weird way, but. So that was the biggest difference between the first one and the second one. What's that?
I said I'm sorry about your dog being put down.
Yeah, thank you. That was pretty terrible. But he had to come and he would eat cigarette butts, so I couldn't stop, and he would just randomly snatch one up. Whoever was the owner before me, he was a rescue. Allowed him to eat cigarette butts. So I think he just got cigarette cancer.
What the fuck?
He was a cigarette cancer. He got the cigarette cancer.
R.I.P. Destro.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I think, and that too, with the EP, we spent the same amount of time recording a shorter EP. So the EP was 9 minutes, including the interlude track, whereas the first album was 11 songs, and it was all 11 songs. So, but we spent the same amount of time making less music, and I think that was another thing too, where we wanted to really refine some things. We did a lot different vocal stuff. So we experimented a lot more, I would say, in the studio the second time around. So that was kind of with the first album, we just kind of went in there, rushed it out, got everything recorded, and we're still super excited about that. But the second one, we wanted to kind of take the same amount of time and just kind of hone a few things and craft a couple additional things with the EP. And so I think now with us writing the third album, we're going to spend even more time in the studio to kind of really kind of hammer that in again. So, yeah.
And it will be longer. I think the key to like what we're really trying to do is, we're trying to put things out in a relatively, well, actually COVID did us a bit of a favor because it allowed us to also and write. And that's what we did because we're not playing shows, obviously.
Yeah, right out of the studio, we started writing.
Right out of the studio, we got into the space and started creating. Chris had a bunch of good ideas, and we've been plugging away. So this album is going to be a little bit longer. There's going to be more songs, probably less samples at this point, but we'll see what happens.
Okay. Well, I gotta say, like, it sounds fucking great what you guys are doing. It's awesome. I do gotta ask you though.
Thank you.
It seems like all your songs are like a minute to a minute 20 seconds, something like that. Is that intentional, or is that like just kind of where it feels like it should end?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm old. I don't want to write long songs.
Yeah.
I can't remember anything. I can barely hear you. No, we're a grind band still, but even though we incorporate a lot of different stuff, like the short songs, like you get a dose of everything you need in that song.
Bag of chips.
It's a bag of chips syndrome, basically, where you can't eat just one. So we do you get your groove in there, you get your chaos, your blast beats, your samples, all in one concise package, but we do it in a catchy way, which doesn't take a long time. So we just want to keep listening.
I mean, no one, honestly, who wants to listen to one of our songs for 4 minutes?
Yeah, I don't.
I wouldn't. I
wouldn't go try to play it.
I think a lot of the stuff doesn't outstay its welcome either. It's just enough. You get a little taste of slam, a little taste of grinds, death metal. You get a little mix of everything in there. So
Sprinkle it in.
There's
Just
just some parts that are so good.
It's mostly just like we have an idea for a riff or two, and then we explore that, and then we're done, and then it's on to the next. So it's just, I think, going away from like the bands that we've all been before, where it's 3 to 5 minute songs, where it's just like you're trying over and over again to try to make everything link together in a single song, where it's just like we had this idea and it's just like, let's play how long this idea goes for and then just stop it.
It's easier for lyrics too, because we basically write little grind haikus based on whatever we want. And whereas where we were stuck writing serious bullshit about hardcore and other whatever crap it was, we get to write about
fucking
movies, comic books, video games, whatever it may be, or whatever else we come up with. It's fun to just do a short song and use a little chunk of lyrics that's more witty than writing some long drawn out bullshit,
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're definitely going to get to the lyrics and stuff.
Yeah.
In terms of your sound, I would say you guys sound a lot like Circle of Dead Children. I would imagine that has to be a big influence for you guys, right?
Yeah. They
The Godfathers.
Yeah, I mean, you can't mention Pittsburgh grindcore or death metal or death grind without
Circle of Dead
talking about Circle of Dead Children.
Yeah, we're all. I mean, he played in bands back in the day. Jason did. With
we were playing shows. I was in a band called First Aid Dead. We were playing shows with Commit Suicide and Circle. But those guys, Menerasia. But Circle and Commit really laid the groundwork for that Pittsburgh, if you want to call it the Pittsburgh grind sound. Without them, there would probably be a different scene here. So, we definitely take some influence from them. And funny enough, their drummers rehearsing across the hall, and then they were trying to do a reunion thing. And really? I don't know if that's going on anymore or not, but they were basically right across the hall from us in the space.
Dude, that's insane. Human Harvest is one of my favorite albums of all time.
It's an untouchable.
It's in my car right now. It's so good. Yeah.
That's been the biggest bummer about Pittsburgh. Oh, well, yeah. Here, Chris will take the influence stuff.
There's a lot. People. Okay, you do that. There's a lot of influences. I'd say the main ones are definitely Discordance, Axis, Gridlink type of stuff, Nasum, and Burnt by the Sun, and maybe Deeds of Flesh, and like for the slam stuff, like a lot of the Pittsburgh beatdown type of stuff mixed with like Internal Bleeding and like Dying Fetus, Soils of Fate type of stuff. So it's like that groovy mixed with like it's like almost sad melodic hyper grind of Discordance Axis mixed with like the other groovy stuff that Burnt by the Sun and like As the Sun Sets would like sort of mix in there. There's others, but like that's the main stuff. So
Dude, love As the Sun Sets too. God, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
good
I
band.
really love y'all's
Yes.
sound. Honestly, I listened to your both of your
Dave Witt
releases like
is a pretty
multiple
big-
times past couple of weeks, and like I am just not tired of it at all. This shit is really good.
No.
Yeah, I think that goes back to that small bag of chips thing where it's just we did all those small songs, but made them distinct enough. Whereas a lot of times with grind, it's all an album kind of flows, and you're just like you can't really tell the difference between the songs. And I think
Right,
because
it's all
we,
just like blast beats.
did
the
some
whole time.
variety in the riffing and everything. Right,
which
so
can be cool, but like
Yeah.
that's not how we roll.
it's definitely
You'll get-
can be cool, but yeah, we
I would get bored. I mean, I love
Yeah.
doing it. I would just honestly, I would get bored, and I need to do something
Yeah,
else.
and he hits the groove so well that like we need the slam and weird groove parts and like transitions and stuff to keep you hooked. You need the
your attention.
you need the catchy riffs, the like noodly stuff, the just the blunt things. But yeah, I mean it worked. That formula works well for us. So
Ricky Broseph in the chat says you could make an album of nothing but grooves, and I would be all for it. Kind of agree with him. I feel like those are your strongest parts. Are the grooviness and like the like blast beats going into like slam like grooves. It's just fucking awesome. It's so good.
Thank you.
Thanks,
yeah,
man. Thanks.
Yeah, it works pretty well. This guy over here. This
I
guy.
also love the
Blast.
different
It takes
kinds
all
of
of us to-
vocals that you guys do. I don't know if like it's all coming from one person or if y'all are sharing vocal duties, but whatever y'all are doing,
Yeah,
the different
so
vocals are
that's-
great.
Yeah, the vocals are all from me, and then Chris and Jason on the recorded stuff. They're like they have a couple just kind of like underlying
Yeah,
things,
dude.
but like all the main vocals is just me.
He's, yeah,
God
he's all, we
damn,
do like
dude.
backups in the studio, so you'll hear
Yeah.
extra vocals and low vocals and stuff. So
Yeah.
he has enough of a range to hold. The new album's gonna have just insane amounts of weird ass shit going on. So with vocals and everything. So
That's awesome. Like, are
Yeah,
you? So you're
it's-
doing inhales.
it's
whenever
definitely
you do,
fun.
Like, the cricket kind of screams, right? They're inhales, right?
No,
never inhaled.
Really?
So it's all exhaled guttural stuff.
Yeah.
So
That's fucking
Yeah.
sick.
Yeah.
Layer them over. Last time I blew my voice out doing the gurgles, and he had to do the low vocals.
I did all the lows, or
Yeah.
like the
And he has
backup lows.
He has the whole
backup
range.
lows.
So like
Yeah.
Adam does like mids, high, the weird like.
So all
like,
Chris and I really do, or we do like layering, or we like throw a little chunk in here and there. Because honestly, doing vocals in the studio is so much
Oh,
fun.
it's hilarious.
Yeah, if I get an opportunity to do it, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, we'll have a couple guest vocals on the next album here and there, but like it's mainly going to be him and us just fooling around in the studio.
yeah, it's fun to just fuck around. I mean, I've been making dumb little sounds since I was a kid, so it's just put it to use for
Yeah, right.
for some death grind shit.
So what's the writing process like? Is someone primarily directing it, or are y'all just kind of bringing in things and seeing what sticks to the wall?
Writing process. That's a Chris question.
I would say like I'll come up with a bunch of riffs. Like I have bass riffs that I'll come to Jason with, and then everybody gets their input. So I mean, oh boy, I'm gonna fit this accident. So we don't take long to write because the songs aren't that long, but it does that we write and then we'll have a chunk of revision, so part of the calendar set aside for revising.
Yeah.
So we'll blast through a bunch of songs. We have, I don't know, like 13 of the 16 new ones we're done with now. And like it goes relatively smoothly. Like we've all jammed before together in bands, so we know how we write.
I think what really helps is like really sort of like we figured each other out. So Chris will come in with a part, and then I'll just there's like a handful of different things that I could do to it considering the genre, and I just kind of like try and figure it out, and then we all sit down and we agree on it. We're like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, we'll go with that, and then
Yeah, then we'll just sprinkle in bass stuff, and Evan will add in his little parts, and then Adam will add some the lyrics and the patterning for it. So it goes pretty smooth. I mean, some bands take forever to write, like your other band takes longer to write, and like we just crank them out. Like we just have so many ideas. We're super creative on all fronts, so we just keep going.
Yeah,
Lyrics, art, like
you go back to the Bag of Chips though, saying that we are really writing minute and a half songs, but we do take our time with it. So when we're putting together, like even we got something on a new one that's like 20 seconds, it's still something that we'll work like several rehearsals on just to be like, no, I don't like that 2-second portion or that 1-second portion, or Evan wants to add something in. We're going to try and do that a little different. And like we'll sit and like really try and like tweak the tiniest shit on these songs. We don't just throw them. Yeah, we don't throw them together and then say, oh, that's done. Let's walk away. As Chris was saying, there's a big revision portion to our writing. Like before we go into the studio, like we might take like 3 months to go over the songs again and then change, like, and just change minor things or sometimes major things. And then sometimes in the revising process, I think when we did Blast Haven,
we threw a whole song. Or something like, we had a whole song almost done. We're like, okay, we have something else to the table. We almost rewrote an entire song.
I forgot what I was going to say. I had a brain fart. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, the gist of it is we write the songs pretty quickly, and then we just have a long revision process on everything just to like really solidify certain parts and patterns and all that stuff. So. But it is, it's relatively quick.
Even, depending on 20-second song or a 2-minute and 30-second song, we'll spend as much time as with these songs we feel like we need.
I think basically the idea is to get all the ideas in a place and put them in like their respective chunks and song format, and then go back and decide like, how do we make it ours, or how do we make it better? How do we make it something that someone wants to fucking hear? I just stepped on a piece of fucking drumstick.
Y'all just have pieces of drumstick lying around your practice space.
Oh,
I have like, if you could see back here,
duck your head at, there's sticks sticking out. It looks like stakes from like Vlad the Impaler's castle over here with all the sticks he broke.
Yeah, so he breaks a lot of sticks.
Hey, Big Bird. Let's go.
He breaks a lot of sticks, and
there's like, it looks like someone's been cutting wood.
Yeah.
And that's so I stepped on a wood chunk and went into my foot. It's like,
he has to wear safety goggles when he drums now, because once he smacked his eye and he had to go to the emergency.
It was gross.
It's a hyphema.
So my eye filled with blood. It was in the middle of a rehearsal, and I've come close to hitting myself before, but I'm playing, and I went to swing over and hit a cymbal. And when I did that, I cracked my eye, and I was like, oh, what the hell's going on? Finish the song. And I was like, something's wrong. And Adam comes and looks at my eye. He goes, dude, we got to go to hospital now. We're going to hospital now. And then I get to the hospital. It looked like, if you open your eyes in the ocean or a pond or something, it's that dirty brown water look. Well, that's what I was seeing out of this eye. I thought I was going to go blind.
Fish eye.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was the thing that happened. So now I wear these old, like 50s sort of,
brothers.
Yeah.
Like
We lost the very end of that story. You
I play like a fucking caveman.
The goggles you'd wear like in science class. Is that the kind of thing that you?
I'll show you. Hold on.
I think you should just wear them for the duration. So
They're a little more form-fitting than those traditional sort of science class ones, but they got like a little mesh screen and stuff. They're beautiful.
Yeah, that's about it.
a couple of Coke bottles.
So
You guys
and
are
that's
frozen
he's
right
got
now.
he's got a little dry erase board. Every time his drumstick hits his glasses, he does like a little tally mark.
There's the dry erase board, and I put the date how many times during that rehearsal I've smacked the glasses, and I think
Guys,
the last one was on the 20th.
frozen.
I
You
had
can't really
2
see
hits,
anything.
so 2 strikes.
So he documents every time he hits himself in the eye now.
Yep. So I am honestly afraid to not wear these.
Why not wear them?
Because like I said, I play like a caveman. So
Safety first.
yeah.
Oh, now you guys are back. Y'all were frozen that entire time.
We're glitching hardcore over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we were just saying he hits himself in the face a lot with his drumsticks.
I wouldn't say a lot, but
Enough.
I would say
Putting actual blood,
I
sweat,
hit
and
the
tears
glass.
into
Yeah.
it. So some of the lyrics are pretty straightforward, but others are a bit odd. What's the main idea behind the lyric?
So the straightforward ones are probably from me because I'm a dum-dum. So Chris and I split the lyric duties. Chris is just a hyper talented artist in illustration, graphic design, writing. So any of the more esoteric sounding stuff usually comes from him. But every single one of these songs just comes from a movie, anime, video games, comic books,
TV shows,
horror movies, like any sort of just like media that we really love. I think with this project, we really just wanted to step away from serious stuff because, you know, we had explored that in all the bands we've been in previously, and we just wanted to have fun. So, yeah, all the lyrics are just from just movies and TVs and video games that we love. So
you had a particularly weird one, Blackguard, interdimensional demonic warfare.
Oh yeah, so that one was from me.
Fishing for semen, Italian mystics mutating in soaplands, radical evisceration through impregnation, Cambion child creation for. What the fuck?
Yeah, so that one was all right. So that one is from me. So that is from a 1980s horror anime called Wicked City, and so that's like the plot to the movie. It's just this weird. She's this weird, sexy femme fatale Spider Woman is sort of trying to vie for the main semen to create like the ultimate demon baby. Like that's the plot of the movie. So it's just like picking all these weird things from that movie and just kind of going with it. So that's all props to Wicked City, which is one of my favorite, like hyper violent, like adult anime films. So
you have a music video that actually has like a Spider Woman in it or whatever. That's kind of what it makes me think. So this was recorded, mixed, and mastered at Cerebral Audio by Shane Mayer. He also did the last one, your debut. What's it like working with him?
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Sorry, you broke up there for a second.
Yeah. So yeah, we just love Shane a whole lot.
Yeah, he does all the Pittsburgh bands.
Yeah, he's
down hardcore.
Pittsburgh has 3 go-to guys when it comes to like sort of metal or hardcore or, you know, anything sort of heavy, and Shane is one of those. And to me, he's my favorite.
He's just
all of our buddies predominantly go to Shane for recording.
Like he's very smart. His space is very comfortable. There's woods you can piss in, and then there's a great rib shop, or what is it, like smokehouse? Mitch's Barbecue is right down.
He knows his stuff.
I feel he's got good shortcuts. He's got good suggestions. He just lets you do your thing, and like he's just super laid back. He's like the best dude.
And he knows our sound.
Yeah,
he knows exactly. Like for him to really. What we did sound wise in the first album to this album to Blast Haven, I should say. For one, you know, he really listens to what we want, and like his ideas are really good, and he knows exactly what I want to sound like, which is really important to me because finding that can record and then put out the sound that I want for my drums is kind of rare. I've only he might be the first one to actually capture what I want to sound like.
Knocks it out of the park.
Yeah.
I think having the woods to piss in and the barbecue place close by is really important.
It's
very important.
Oh, yeah, that's key.
Shout out to Mitch's Barbecue.
Yeah, Mitch's Barbecue. They gave us free fucking samples the last time we were.
Oh, it was so good.
And there's nothing better than if you need to walk out of the room for a minute and you just walk into the woods, take a leak. Man, you breathe in that wood air. You feel good. The wooded air. The wooded air.
Now we're talking about being in the woods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
About that. It's important. Being in the woods is important.
Yeah, I mean, you're from Texas, so you probably get way better barbecue than we do in Pittsburgh. So Pittsburgh, it's when you find good barbecue, it's like, yeah.
I can't imagine.
We do have good woods here.
We'll take our woods.
Desert. You have better desert.
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 True. So your artwork is pretty interesting. We got it up on the screen now. This is the artwork for Blast Haven. What exactly is going on the cover?
So there's this band in particular, I took way more time. I always take time on the art, but I work quickly, but I spent tons of time doing print processes with the lyrics and the layouts of all the stuff all the way up to the vinyl. Now all the releases have been that way, but for Blast Haven, I would say it's not directly inspired by anything, but I wanted to use a weird colorway for the album. Like that pink and yellow is such an odd, like, just colorway to use. And the Japanese type on the front was from an old newspaper that was like this bold, I think it was for movies in Japan or something. And I found that old noir photo of this lady that was lit from the bottom. I just loved it. So I like manipulated that stuff. And the cover is basically a take on the Watchmen cover from the comic The Watchmen, with that yellow cover. It's the same font basically. So the whole inside of like all the art and the tapes have been, I use a clear blender marker print process to transfer all the hand done type and design and logo stuff. So like, it's like meticulously done, but like, yeah, that's basically it. And then we had, we basically use that process, or I use that process for the whole album for all the art. So it's like real, like messy and kind of grimy looking, but also just sort of nicely designed at the same time. So.
Well, damn, it looks really good. I kind of thought that the face was a doll. I didn't realize it was an actual person.
Yeah, no, I actually ended up mirroring it so it would be completely symmetrical. But yeah, it's an old, like, upward lit noir photo.
You guys are completely frozen if y'all can hear me. Oh, there we go. You're back.
No, we're back.
There you go.
Hello.
There you go. So there's another piece of art that goes along with this. Your vinyl has different art to it. Did Chris? Did you do the?
Yeah. So I had to I was like, well, a lot of people would just like throw. Yeah, I do every bit of our art is from me. So the vinyl I took it even a step further, and it's just I had to like. For our first buy, this is the first thing I've ever had on vinyl, and Secret Swarm was nice enough to pick us up and just crank vinyl out for us and like merch and stuff. And they really took to us, and we all appreciate that.
Oh, yeah. Big thanks to Secret Swarm.
Best like thing that could have possibly happened to us. They're very professional. Like they just like took care of everything we needed. Let me do my thing on the art. The art for the vinyl is just a whole hodgepodge of all different kinds of stuff that I took time to put together. I took more time on that than Blast Haven, and there's still print transfer copy stuff. I did a whole like sort of command prompt line for a terminal in a computer mixed with like a video game sort of thing.
Lots of Easter eggs.
Yeah, there's lots of weird little Easter eggs in there, right down to like the smallest details. So like that's super important, putting together a visual and design package. Like you need the whole thing. I think I always thought that when we were a band, and this band lets us do everything we want to do.
Yeah, I think it looks really good. I think this looks way better than your other covers even. Like this thing is knocked out of the park.
Yeah, it's a step. Like I mean, yeah. Thank you. That one took a while to do, and that one it came out great, good colorway, awesome. Like just it's gonna look great when it's on vinyl. So especially with those awesome variants and stuff. So
hell yeah. What? So how did y'all get hooked up with Secret Swarm?
What do you say?
Oh, so you get hooked up with Secret Swarm.
Oh, okay. So a friend sort of turned us on to them, and they had already heard of us apparently. And then I just started talking to them, and they're like, "Hey, let's put out some vinyl." And then we're like, "What?" And they're, "Yeah, let's put out the vinyl." I was like, "Okay." Yeah, I was like, "Who just puts out?" I mean, it is a passion project. They put out a lot of older, so they have older bands on their roster. There's a band from Pittsburgh called Belie My Burial with our friend Wyatt in it. They were like a metalcore band here. And they reissue a lot of those MySpace era, like grind, deathcore, like type of bands. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's right. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot. I'm sorry. So yeah, they you know all about them, but like just for people who don't know, they do that, and they were like, well, we want some newer bands in there, and they had a few on the roster, but they pushed us up to the the forefront of it, of getting us our stuff released as soon as possible, even though vinyl's backed up like crazy. And they were just great to work with. And
they've been fantastic. Through and through, they've been just amazing to work with.
Unexpected like surprises all the way in a good way with them. Just getting stuff covered, like best thing that could have possibly happened to us. And on top of that, I get to do art for some of their other releases too. So they pick me up as my business to do some of the other covers and layouts for vinyl.
Oh, that's really cool. I think y'all are actually the first new band that they put on there. New band,
yeah.
Active still.
So they have a few. There's like 2 or 3 other new bands. So they're not ready to release them yet. So I won't drop their names, but I know 1 or 2 of them. But yeah, they're gonna do some new bands sprinkled in there.
That's pretty sick. That's pretty. Do y'all have plans to do like the 3rd album with them, or are y'all going somewhere else with that? Or can y'all even talk about that? I probably can't even talk about it.
No. I think we're. I don't want to let too much out of the bag right now, but yeah, they're
in talks.
I mean, it's basically agreed on. I don't want to put words in their mouth, but it's like once we get this done, we want to do CDs and vinyl through them and their subsidiary CD label. So, and we'll probably handle the cassette portion of that. But yeah, it's a load off our mind, and the stuff looks like it's going to come out amazing. Seeing what they put out,
Nice. I think this is actually Ricky from Secret Swarm in the chat now. It says that he loves you guys so much. That the art that Chris did for future release is super sick.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you guys.
So you guys did a music video for every song off of Blast Haven.
This is all this guy over
I think we're just gonna start. I don't think I can show the first video because of nudity and stuff, but we're gonna start
the nudity, the newest one.
We're gonna start with Implosive Sonata. It's actually playing up on the screen now. Where the fuck did you get this footage, man? Like, Jesus Christ, I've never seen this before, but I wanted to see this.
Oh, so that's the one with the, they're in the bus, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, so... Sorry, it like fast-forwarded you really quickly.
Oh, okay, it's all good. Yeah, it's the one where they're on the bus.
Yeah, so with Implosive Sonata, so that, with all of these videos... I whip them up, and it's just I like to source from really weird movies or like weird clips that I find. So that one is from the classic 90s B horror film Basket Case 3. So that whole movie is just like it's just,
I didn't know there was
like a
third.
group
I
of
didn't
like
know there was a second
monstrous
one.
Freaks. Yeah.
I've just seen the first one. I had no idea.
Yeah.
It's crazy, dude.
So yeah, this is the 3rd and final Basket Case film that came out in the 90s. The director like went super weird with that series, and he did like another movie called Frankenhooker, which is like Frankenstein prostitute, like just super weird and crazy practical effects with all the monster effects and everything. And then there was I was watching the movie. A lot of the videos just come from me watching movies. And then I note a scene and I'm just like, that scene is fucking insane. And I think it would work really well for a video. And so with that whole scene on the bus where they're all singing, I can't remember what the song is called, but they're just singing a song. I was like, this is just so fucking weird. They're already singing, they're playing instruments. Like this just works so well for a video. So I just kind of just grab them. Sometimes I source them directly tapes that I have, and then I just kind of sloppily chop them up and edit them as best as I can.
We use them for like promo stuff for Bandcamp Fridays or for releasing stuff, or just sometime as an Easter egg to be creative, to drop it on people's to keep like interest in things. So he's been like awesome with doing these ridiculous videos. I have no idea what he's going to come up with next with these things, but people seem to like them a lot too. So I love watching.
It actually gives me a lot.
It's just another little bit of
put like shit like this together for myself.
Yeah, it's super fun. Like it was just a buddy from work. He was kind of cutting stuff together just to like music that he was doing, and he was sharing them to me, and I was like, that's such a cool idea. Like I'm just sitting around not doing anything because we weren't playing any shows, and it was just another one of those things like Chris was saying where it's just like all the the visual design and everything that we want to kind of push forward with this stuff. This was just another one of those layers to just kind of add another bit of weirdness and uniqueness to what we're trying to push to people. So,
and like to be able to pump a video out every like week or two is like constant content and source to be creative for. So I mean, it's nice.
Yeah, especially at a time where you could be playing a show every week or so. You'd have something to put out there. Yeah.
Just
What's
to keep
your favorite
people
video?
keep our shit fresh in their mind.
I like Blackbird.
Yeah,
that one's cool.
Too.
Yeah, it might be Blackguard. So yeah, the weird one that you were talking about lyrically.
Yeah.
So I was actually funny enough with the Blackguard video. So it's based off of an anime,
I
but
was
then
gonna
in
say,
the
this
90s.
is the anime, right? Or this is what it's talking about, right?
Yeah. So, but what I sourced from in that video. So there was a film in Hong Kong where they did a live action version of Wicked City, and so I ripped that because I'm a Laserdisc collector too. So I ripped the scene from my Laserdisc, and that weird fight scene where he's fighting the Arachno woman that's trying to steal the man's semen, and so I edited the video for that. So that
This
was
is
like I think
definitely
that's
the
really
kind of thing that you need on Laserdisc too. Like, you need the highest quality possible.
yeah, because
Soak
I
it all
don't.
in.
I doubt that movie's on Blu-ray. You know what I mean? Nobody gives a shit about some weird '90s Hong Kong movie.
So we got a random question here. We ask everybody, what do you put on your hot dog?
What do I put on my? So I'm a Chicago dog kind of guy. I love having the pickle spear, the the mustard, the ketchup, and then it's super simple for me.
I'm from Buffalo, so I'm rock the Ted's hot dogs, Salen's hot dogs. I'll put whatever on it, just mustard, whatever the fuck you got. I don't put whatever on it. So
All right.
I don't know. I load mine up. When I was living in New York, we had Crip dogs, and
What's
that
a Crip
you could
dog?
you could get any amount of amazing. What's that?
What's a Crip dog?
Crip Dogs. So Crip Dogs is a little spot in Brooklyn where it's just a hot dog shop, and you go in there and you order custom hot dogs. It's the only thing on the menu. It's hot dogs, and they put a bunch of shit on it, like amazing stuff, and
mayonnaise.
you got a mayonnaise dog. Anyway, so but I'm a chili and onions.
I'll say that or anything with relish.
We're gonna downstairs in the ranch.
Ketchup, mustard, relish.
Milk.
It's yeah.
Milk.
So it looks like you guys are back to playing shows.
We got a glitch.
Oh, this.
Oh.
Was that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we have some shows. Yeah.
Yeah. So we just played a show in Buffalo.
Well, Buffalo, you guys are awesome.
2 weeks now?
Yeah,
2 weeks
2 weeks
ago.
ago.
So that was really recent. That was our very first show back.
Yeah, that was technically our second show.
So,
ever.
and it was only our second show ever. So before coronavirus, we played one show in January of 2020. And then we had a tour lined up and that got canceled, obviously. And then, so we just did Buffalo recently. And then this Friday, we have our first local show back since the pandemic. And we're playing that at a cool spot in Pittsburgh called Preserving Underground. That's run by
Our
some
friend
buddies of ours,
It's
AJ.
a record store.
Yeah, so it's a record store. It's and it's got a venue space as well. So it's super cool to go there during a show because you can shop some vinyl or CDs or cassettes or whatever. And then he also has used band shirts and that kind of stuff.
all kinds of
So yeah, it's a real cool spot. So we're playing that on Friday. We're playing that with our buddies in Watcher. They're like metallic beatdown. I mean, I always like to say Pittsburgh's number one export is beatdown hardcore because there's like 1,000 beatdown bands here.
40 dudes
Yeah.
like 25.
There's like a
beatdown bands.
Yeah, there's a nice
all-
cast of like 20-ish or so people. They just create a bunch of really fucking heavy bands. So we're playing with our buddies in Watcher. We're playing with Hurt Piece,
Yeah,
which
Hurt
was
Piece is our-
Evan
You can
was
say Hurt
used to
Piece,
do
you said
used to do bass and Hurt Piece, and we're playing with them as well. And they're another sort of metallic, sort of heavy hardcore band. And we're playing with
Human Animal,
Ex
Brothers Keeper from
Yeah.
like Erie.
so yeah, they're a cool Erie hardcore band. So yeah, we're playing that, and then we have some stuff in the works for October and in November as well that we can't quite yet announce.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been
Did you say you've only
it's been
played
good
2
to play
shows?
again for sure.
Super busy.
Yeah.
So you guys have only played 2 shows then?
Lost the connection again.
Yeah, we're glitching out.
You hear me?
Played.
Just right in the dick.
I had-
That was
We've
terrible.
played 2.
Yeah, you've only played 2 so far? That's crazy.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Yeah. It mostly sucks.
We were supposed to play with what was the one in the church? It was Pyrexia and
I can't remember.
I can't think the
But
other
it was in a church.
Some
no, it wasn't
it was a barn. It was an
It was a
abandoned
barn.
It was an old
no, It was
barn.
an abandoned church.
It was abandoned
On PA somewhere. I don't
middle
know.
of Pennsylvania, and then that was going to kick off. Like we were going to go through and run some shows of prostitution, do a couple other things. But as soon as we got our like we were ready to start playing shows,
Stuff lined up.
the
Just shut down.
Corona
We got
kicked
about
us
5
right.
shows canceled, like, and it just went downhill from there. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Damn, that
timing was-
sucks. Jesus.
Yeah, it does because this material is really geared. Honestly, like if I was in the crowd and I was watching this stuff happen,
You want to punch somebody? In the
I would
face.
want to punch someone in the mouth. So that's what I would like to see. And
That was during the Rona.
no, you punch,
You punch yourself in the mouth.
You punch someone in the mouth 6 feet
That's
away. You got
true,
an
yeah.
Inspector Gadget arms. You're like,
go gadget punches.
yeah. So yeah, we're super stoked to start playing shows again. It kind of we put a pause on writing the new stuff because we wanted to get show ready again since stuff was opening back up. So it's been real cool to do this again. So
That's awesome. So what, like, describe a show for us. How does it go? How does it go exactly? You guys like lose your shit up there, or what are we doing?
At the first one.
yeah, so it's generally speaking, our sets are 20 minutes
Yeah, with the
tops with the sampling. So we like to incorporate, we don't incorporate all the samples for every single song that has a sample. We kind of like pick and choose which samples we use for live set. But yeah, it's Jason making weird drum faces and me screaming and running around and getting out of breath because
we're fat and old.
I'm in my mid 30s and I'm fucking fat. So and then these 2 dudes, they're even older than me. They're in their early 40s now. So it's just, you know what I mean? Yeah. And he's 30. So we're all much older. But like what I was saying, I think at the Buffalo show, you know, when because we've been on second, and I was just like, you know, we're all like Chris and I are fat and we're old, and I'm just like telling the other bands, it's like I'm fat and old, and I'm like doing some shit right here. Y'all need to step your game up because they're all like younger dudes. So it's you know it's fun. It's 20 minutes of cardio for me. It's my weekly exercise whenever I freaking play a show, and it's a blast. So yeah, but I'm out of breath and my face is usually beat red
Those
after a
pictures
set.
were great though.
Yeah.
Shout out
Dude,
to
the
Ron.
pictures look
Yeah.
dope, right? I saw them on your Facebook page. They look fucking sick.
You look fucking maniacal.
Well, that's the thing. It's just like, for me doing a live show, like if I'm just like pitch perfect with just how the album is, but I'm just standing still, that's a boring experience for me.
That's
Yes.
the reason we
So,
got
like-
him for like Methwari and stuff. And
Yeah, so you know, it's like you can sound exactly like the album, and that's cool. And some bands I kind of expect
give a
that, and
shit
that's what I want. But like for me, if I'm not engaging with a bunch of people, if I'm not moving around, if I'm not making those stupid fucking faces, like you know what I mean? It's much more fun to kind of go all out and overexert myself for a show than it is to just kind of like stand there and like, because like you were mentioning before, I do a lot of different vocal stuff, and it's cool to do that live, but like sometimes it's just like if I know there's like a gurgle part, it's like, all right, I gotta like stop moving around for 20 seconds here and fucking like gather my so that I can do that thing. So
plus, some
but-
people take it way too seriously live too. You know, like you get all worked up about trying to play everything perfect. And it's like you just joke around if you mess up or whatever. It's not a big deal. It's like just
fun. Just
yeah.
have fun.
Yeah. So I like to have fun. I like to give people an experience and
The not taking ourselves too seriously is very important because I mean, we can play our songs and we do all right, but like we fuck up, who cares? And we'll just play it again. We'll play it in so
luckily with our songs, it's a minute long. So if you fuck up, it's not a big deal.
we're like, oh, we look at each other like, oh, fuck that one up. Let's do it again.
Man, it's more of an authentic experience too.
Yeah, it does.
That,
Like you can engage the crowd with that too. It's funny.
Yeah.
So what was the last thing you listened to? Like either an album, a song, commercial jingle, whatever.
Jingle.
Ooh.
Beastie Boys. I've been listening to a lot of Beastie Boys, and
Really?
they're having
Okay.
a positive influence on some of the stuff I'm working on, sample wise.
I just listened to on the way over
But
here.
lots of Beastie Boys for me lately.
So the last thing I listened to on the way over here was Belinda Carlisle's
Whoa.
Heaven is a Place on Earth.
Yeah, good one.
Don't forget to tell them about our
the beer run.
No, the Spotify. What do we do? What's the thing called?
We have a really good Spotify playlist. We usually play before practice because it's a bunch of like
Lounge.
Japanese
it's like-
commercials.
no, it's like Japanese lounge music. and
Lounge
stuff.
music. That's right. The
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So I know.
City pop and
Yeah. So there's like a whole.
synthwave.
it was Beasties. What do you got?
There's a subgenre from Japan called city pop, which is just like this real sort of mellow. It gives you beach vibes kind of thing. So we listen to that a lot during the thing. So I know for me today, I was mowing the lawn. And so what I was listening to was this dude is called My Sister's Fugazi Shirt. And he does that like lo-fi chill hop shit, but with like a lot of like, it's this anime called Evangelion. And so he samples a lot of the stuff from that show. So that's what I was listening to. That was the last thing I listened to today.
I normally listen to like I collect a lot of metal and death metal and hardcore and stuff, but I listen to a lot of like I have jazz radio on all the time in my kitchen, so I'm listening to my retro blaster is usually covered with like 80s and like just all kinds of ridiculous stuff, everything from lots of hip hop, lots of like everything from synthwave, hip hop, old 80s stuff, older stuff. So I do that, but
wait. We're lying because our last thing today was montage music.
Oh yeah,
remember we had to run to get beer, so I put montage music on YouTube, and we ran to the beer place. Final Countdown. There was Chariots of Fire. So yeah, we were listening to montage music. Was the last thing we listened to before, like him and I anyway. Yeah, it was montage music.
So Adam just mentioned Evangelion, and y'all do have a lot of weird like Japanese culture stuff going on. Are you all into like anime and stuff, or is it just Adam over here?
Oh yeah. This is in the room on Evan's base head.
This is on Evan's base head right now.
Okay.
So he likes his anime. Yeah. So I would say more so the three of us.
Yeah.
Chris definitely has some older anime stuff. But yeah, so the three of us really are huge in anime and manga and a lot of video games and stuff. I know a lot of the songs that Chris writes, they're more about like the movies he loves.
Yeah, I'm more visual. Like I'm sort of like a design nerd. I'm a nerd in like different ways. These guys are like computers, video games, like anime. You're the dorkiest of the dorks. I'm like kind of nerdy, but like about really specific shit that's more like visually oriented. So
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your favorite anime?
Oh, frick. I'd have to probably say a series. I'll go Cowboy Bebop. Is probably that's the one that I can always go to. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say as a series, probably Evangelion. But I think as a movie, I'd probably say Perfect Blue or anything Satoshi Kon's done. It's or Paranoia Agent. I just watched that recently. It's good. Yeah.
This is a tough one for me because I agree. Like Neon Genesis was one as a series goes that kind of really cemented the whole thing for me. But I mean, honestly, if just to be different from these guys, I would go with Full Alchemist Brotherhood because when they decided to do the Brotherhood version of it, it actually tied in with the manga a lot closer.
I don't watch anime. I like one or two anime.
Yeah.
Bebop is good. My favorite is Big O. So
yeah. Big O is basically
like
Batman with mechs. Yeah.
Okay, I can do that. Gorishi in chat saying some tentacle anime, perhaps. I don't know if y'all go that. If y'all go.
Oh,
So
wait,
yeah,
Rokusuki Doji.
that's our friend Gorshi. Yeah, so we had a long sleeve design that was like hentai that Chris whipped up,
SFW.
and we didn't get around to printing that one yet.
Maybe
We'll print that for the when it gets cold again. We'll finally print that one out.
The new album.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's just like I love that shit, but like I've got like Cannibal Corpse shirts and stuff in my closet that it's just like I've just never worn because it's just like I'm not going out in public.
I don't wear a Waco Jesus shirt out, even though I have like 14 of them.
Yeah. Maybe when I was 19, I was like, I don't care. I'll have a shirt that has titties and exploded stomachs and shit. But it's just like, I'm in my mid-30s.
Doji, where it's basically the anime aliens with tentacles raping women. What was it? There was another one too.
That's just all hentai.
It's all hentai. Yeah. There was another one though too. When I was in like art school, when I went to AIP, there was a chick who was really into that shit.
So a lot of us went to the Art Institute of Pittsburgh for college, and so a lot of weird people there that had a lot of weird stuff to show you. So.
But no, I was that guy in high school. I had an Abominable P. Trinity shirt that had like cut up people on it and shit. I had the Cannibal Corpse shirt with like the babies hanging from it and shit. And I was going around wondering why I wasn't getting laid. So you're 100% correct that it lowers your success rate with women. So you guys have got shirts.
Yeah.
Oh, I actually forgot to go over this. What's your album of the year?
Ooh. So. Honestly, I think right now for me, currently, I would say would be, I believe they're from Tennessee, the band Knoll, that Knoll. They put out an album called Interstice this year, and it's just like, I think they had maybe done just like a song or two before, and then they put this shit out, and it's just like young dudes, and it's fucking crazy, man. It's insane. They had artwork from Ethan from Primitive Man, and I believe they recorded with the guy that did he recorded in Chicago, like he's done like Rats and a bunch of just really fucking gnarly bands. And then I think they had it mixed by Kurt from Converge at his studio, and it's just like they came out of nowhere with that fucking album, and it's insane. That's been one that's just been recycled through. And I know
also we were mentioned with them on that.
Yeah, so we just
which was an honor. Thank you, Invisible Oranges. You said many kind things.
On Friday, the metal site Invisible Oranges, they put out it was 6 grindcore albums to fuel the apocalypse of 2021. And so we were put on that list of one of the 6, and that band Knoll was their album was on there as well. And it's just that's been a one that I keep coming through over and over. So, and the thing that sucks though is they're playing in Pittsburgh, but I'm going to be on vacation, and so I'm going to miss them, which blows. So. Yeah, but
we actually had
that for me
not
definitely.
too long ago. They're fucking amazing
I have
guys.
A running list in my head now. I can't even I like any for metal stuff. I usually like any New Standard Elite, like brutal death metal stuff, like Mesham or I don't know, any number of the awesome bands they have on there. But I'm blanking on you guys got back to you. Yeah, I can't think of
I say there's a lot of stuff I know that's not even out yet, but I mean. I've been really enjoying the new. It's like a 3-song EP from Church Tongue. That's fantastic. And Mike's
picked up.
Boys
in Vatican picked up their singer from Church Tongue.
Yeah, that's not even out yet, but I'm sure that's gonna be my album of the year. The new Vatican.
Yeah, we have our buddies they're in a metalcore band, Vatican, and they put out a 2-song 7-inch a month or two ago, and that's been really fucking cool. Really digging the direction that those dudes are going in.
I'm gonna go really old school with mine. I'm gonna go old school with mine. I'm gonna get the new Pestilence album.
Yeah,
is fantastic. It's really good. It's like they never stopped. It's like a more modern version of what they were doing like a long time ago. And when I first heard it, I wasn't expecting anything. But then they were releasing singles after singles on Spotify, and then the whole album came out. I was like, God damn it, that's insane.
That New York band that you like, Sonori or whatever.
Oh yeah, some Nori. I've been listening to that a lot too. Those guys are rad. We play a lot of shows with them when I was in New York. So yeah, the new Some Nori album is very, very good. I've been listening to that a lot. And that new Pestilence, it might be my, as far as like death metal, old schooly band, that would be my album of the year for that.
I didn't even know Pestilence released something new, so I need to check that out.
Oh, you need to. It's really, really good. It's surprisingly good.
Alrighty, well, Chris, did you figure out what you were wanting for album of the year?
Blank. I got so much. I listened to so much stuff that
I know one that Chris like that. So when it's out on Willow Tip, I'm gonna butcher the name, but it's
Noctambulist.
Yeah, Noctambulist. They put out
Lost Soul and Cryptopsy mixed together, but with noisier like Portal.
Yeah, so it's like just fucking nasty death metal. The album's called The Barren Form is the album. It's on Willow Tip. Just like it was one of those things where I saw the artwork and I'm just like, I gotta listen to this. You know what I mean? It's just sometimes you have that artwork where you're just like, that's fucking crazy looking. I've got this, and it's been one of my favorites.
I thought of one. It's a little bit last year into this year, but Mick Fito from NL Nathrak had a side band with a couple guys called Make Them Die Slowly, and they were a horror, like an old school horror themed band with, it's basically NL Nathrak make those type of catchy, real Halloweeny riffs that like they made into these like songs that were more almost a pop version of NL Nathrak, and they're super catchy. And now he's doing a thing called Cordell. He's like the guy from the band doing like these mixtapes and stuff. But Make Them Die Slowly was great. That was my Halloween album of all last year, and it will continue to be.
I've never even heard of that before. You know what? I'm going to write it down. Make Them Die Slowly, right?
Yeah.
So
you like NL Nathrak? It's like the same type of riffs.
Oh yeah, they're fucking great. NL Nathrak is awesome.
Yeah.
So you guys got shirts, tapes, CDs, all available at narakah.bandcamp.com. Do you happen to have any on hand you can show us real quick?
Yep.
We just rolled a bunch up.
Oh yeah.
Okay, there's one open. This is the last shirt we have left. We sold out of everything.
I just finished rolling up our shirts for the show.
On our shirts from Secrets Form, so this is the only one we got left. It's pink and gray. It's from the song Blast Haven.
You push that up.
About John.
Get that real close to the camera.
That's good on flip.
And then
nice.
We'll
turn that around.
Print on the sleeve.
There's a sleeve print on it.
It's beautiful.
And then we got a little sleeve print. All that attention to detail.
Also, there are CDs and a few cassettes left. We don't have those to show you, but there will be a new shirt pretty soon.
Yeah. So when we played the Buffalo show, people just bought a bunch of shit. So I was fucking blown away by how much people bought. So like, we had 2 t-shirts designed. Now we're just down to 1 because we sold them all. And
there's still some vinyl.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And at secretswarm.com. So they still have a few copies left of the 100 variant.
The Dream Shell variant.
Yeah. The Dream Shell variant. So there's still a few left on there. The other 2 variants sold out
and the shirt
super quickly, like in a minute or something. Cause those dudes have just a fucking dedicated fan base that'll, they love listening to new shit. So yeah. There's still a vinyl left on their site as well. So, but yeah, just anything we got. I think pretty soon we'll probably print up another t-shirt design and stuff. Cause once we run out of these, we got some stickers, but that's
we always have posters and like art that goes with the stuff, goes out with orders, is at our merch table. Like I always make show posters for this play. So we always have a bunch of stuff available.
Nice. Well, that's about all I had to talk about, unless you had something else you wanted to bring up.
Do we have anything else? I mean, no, we're just, so like we said earlier, we're working on our 3rd album. We're probably going to start, hopefully recording end of September, early October. And then we're looking to probably put it out again in February of next year.
Seems to be our
regular. Yeah, so we've always put out in February, and I think
we might try it like a 12-1.
So we'll see, because I know we our buddy Josh, he did PR for us on the Blast Haven through his cursed breath. And
Yeah, he's
so
awesome, by the way.
he's fantastic to work with if any band is ever
Yeah,
looking
also
to
Ooze
kind of
Cost
get
and
their stuff.
Unfurled.
Yeah. So he's the drummer for Unfurl, which is another local Pittsburgh band that's killer. And he's the vocalist for Oost Cost, which was formerly named Slaves BC. And they're just fucking crazy black metal and mixed with some doom and a little bit of hardcore and stuff as well. But yeah, so he does really cool PR shit, and he really helped get Blast Haven out to people, which was really nice.
Good analytics.
And so, yeah, I think if usually there's a couple months where it's like once the stuff's recorded, he wants to gather everything and push it out to people. So yeah, generally speaking, it'll probably be out early next year. I would say. So
I got one. I want to plug Sino.
oh yeah.
If people are fans, or if you're a fan of the sample work that I do on the albums, I have a project called Cynocephalus. It's on Bandcamp right now. It's a lot different than what Narakah is. I don't even know what to really call it.
It's almost like synthwave meets more sample work and some, like industrial.
Yeah,
it's cool.
So the single's out now. I got a lot going on with the other band that I'm in right now called Egocyst. We're in the refining process, and we're working some things out. And then I have to do the sample work for this. So it's going to be a little while, but the single is out there. So, if you want to go out and follow it, that would be fantastic. But it's a little bit different. But yeah, if you like the sample work, check it out.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So, if you want to experience the pinnacle of grind and core, you should check out not just Narakah's last EP, Blast Haven, but their sick vinyl that has both Blast Haven and Dark Light District, which dropped in June through Secret Swarm Records. You guys are on Facebook, Bandcamp, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube through Chris's channel. It's Chris Smith. You can also get vinyl from secretswarmrecords.com and cool merch from narakah.bandcamp.com. Is that all the social plugs, or did I miss anything?
Yeah, just Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah, we just do Facebook and Instagram and Bandcamp.
And all that stuff.
Drop me a follow so you always know when I go live. You can also sub to get access to the interviews before they hit YouTube and other streaming services, as well as exclusive emotes. You can sub for free by connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account to get you one sub for free. Find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. YouTube folks, if you enjoyed the video, please drop a like, click on the notification bell. Don't forget to subscribe. It's a great way to support me for free. Check out my music, The Sound That Ends Creation, at thesoundthatendscreation.com. Got a brand new single going up next Monday. It's going to be sweet. My guest bailed for this Wednesday's, trying to get someone else. We'll see. Probably going to take it off. But yeah, thanks for being here, guys. Hope you had a good time.
Yeah, for sure. We had a great time. Thank you so much for having us on here.
Hopefully we can do this again at some point when we have a little bit of a better connection. But yeah, it's been fun. Thank you very much.
Thanks a bunch, man.
Absolutely.
It's been cool.
And thank you guys for watching.